Hey everybody, Danny Hogger here. Hope you're having an outstanding week. Thank you so much for checking out our show. Are you looking for new and engaging ways to get your students up and moving in the classroom? Get out of the sit and get rut of teaching by checking out ampeduplearning.com, a two-teacher owned and operated company in Texas that is looking to gamify teaching with creative new activities for the classroom. From their FREC resources and escape rooms for social studies and science to speed squares and task cards for math and English, they have tons of teacher-created resources. So many good things up there. And don't forget to check out their apparel designed specifically for teachers. Look good and support teachers. That's something I can get behind. Use code HoggerHistory10 to save 10% on all items and follow them on social media at Amped Up Learning for their monthly giveaways of Amazon gift cards, lessons, and apparel. Man, supporting teachers while also supporting teachers, that sounds like something we could really get behind. And don't forget to use that code HoggerHistory10 to save 10% on all items at ampeduplearning.com. What a great way to start. Now let's move on to the show. Thank you so much for supporting Inspiring Teachers.
You know, so often on Inspiring Teachers, we try to connect you to educators who connect others, and we're talking to one of the most connected. And if you can say connect to any more than that in 30 seconds, you win a prize. We failed, but we won't fail in this interview. Jeffrey Bradbury is with us from Philadelphia. Happy summer, Jeff. How's everything going?
Things are absolutely great. It's been a great summer so far. I had a fantastic ISTE conference with 20,000 of our closest friends, and I'm looking forward to talking today.
Yeah, man, super cool.
Wonderful.
Well, I'm Danny Hogger, and this is Tavis Beam, and we have been watching the things that you're doing, and we're so glad to be part of that directory soon within our show, Inspiring Teachers, which is just a young fledgling. But how did you get started in teaching? Because I'm curious if it was like a technology career that you were headed on. Like I was a broadcaster, Tavis was a firefighter and a clown at different aspects, and we came to teaching later. Can you please enlighten us on your journey in education?
Oh, that's a good question. I have a music background, and I knew from a long time ago I wanted to do something in music. And it was just one of those deals where as you were getting into music school, you had two options, performance or education, and wasn't going to be a performer. So education was just kind of the way that I got into this. And next thing you know, for 15 years, I was a music educator doing orchestra K-12. And then 4 years ago, I took the jump and became a technology integration specialist, tech coach, whatever you want to call them these days.
So you changed up the rhythm from music to technology. And what
I see what you did there.
I danced you around the room. I told you invite me to dance, man. That's my two-step. What was the reason to switch from music to technology? It's obviously two passions that you have, but what?
Yeah, and there's a lot of similarities behind all of that stuff. I mean, the one common thread that they both have is you're multitasking. You're able to handle more than one thing more than 5 or 6 things at one time. And there's so much similarity between podcasting and being an orchestral conductor. The only major difference is you don't have to wear a tuxedo. It's pretty cool.
So can you walk us through a little bit of what do you teach a kid in a year?
In music world, let's see, you know, I did music orchestra from K-12. So you're always talking about scales, you're talking about rhythms, you're talking about notes, all those things. I have this strange philosophy that says I don't believe in students, and I don't believe in kids, and I don't believe in adults. I just believe in taller or smaller humans. And the philosophy is basically if you take a 3rd grade orchestra, or you take a high school orchestra, or you take a professional opera company, you're talking about notes and rhythms, and you're talking about phrasing, and you're talking about dynamics. What changes is the way you talk about them, but you're talking about the same exact stuff. I've had the opportunity to conduct in the world's biggest stages, and I've had an opportunity to conduct, 2nd and 3rd grade orchestras. It's all the same stuff. The bottom line is you go out there, you have fun, and you have one job, and that's to inspire greatness in others. And it doesn't matter if you're on a podcast or on a podium. It's really very similar. It's scary.
It's great though when you can connect kind of your interest to what you get to do. Tavis is a woodwork shop teacher for the first year, and I think really enjoyed that. Yeah. When you say that you got to play. And
Absolutely. Because I did science, I did math, I did elementary school, and really now my job is play. And I have 37 students that really want to be there, that are excited to be in my class, that are eager, and to get to engage with them on that dynamic where they walk in open and ready and willing. It's such a blessing to be in that position.
Right. Absolutely. And I love, my job is to put a smile on somebody's face. And it doesn't matter if you're listening to professional development like we're doing now, or if you're, listening to some bad jokes as we're conducting Beethoven. It's all the same stuff.
What was the impetus for starting up teachercast.net? How did that get going for you?
July 11th is going to be my 8-year anniversary. And really, it just came down to dumb luck and being in the right place at the right time. I was working in a high school, and we switched over to having a Mac lab. And I didn't know anything about Macs at the time. So I found a podcast of how to do it and basically made friends with the host. And next thing I know, he kind of inspired me to do a similar type show, but do it from the professional development angle. And so, hence where we came from TeacherCast of I want to have you on my show, and I want to have you share your passions with others. And, again, 8 years, we've been, well over 1,000 episodes, well over 500 ed tech companies, and a host of different, fun little bumps and bruises along the way. And we're having such a good time doing it. And I want to always stop and reflect and say thank you to everybody who's helped me and supported me on the journey.
It's pretty epic. I mean, you can follow Jeff on Twitter at TeacherCast, and lots of people have garnered a lot of interest and found a lot of useful resources, just like you did, that sparked you to start this whole thing 8 years ago. I wondered then, what's your motivation now today? What's your why for teaching, and what is it that gets you excited about what you do?
It's a passion project. I think that's the one misconception about TeacherCast is they say, oh my goodness, you're this and you're that. I'm going, no, I'm volunteering all of this work. There's nothing really that's generating anything other than just sweat and passion. I wake up early in the morning and I get this stuff started, and I stay late at night and I get this stuff finished. And I do it because I want to help out others. It's always been the thing on the top of the website. It's a place for teachers to help others. And I totally believe in that.
Yeah, that's it's really resonates with us and where we came from in this as well. We were hanging out a lot, having conversations about teaching, and both our wives are teachers. And then one day we're just like, we should really be recording this and bringing in as many people and really emphasizing the positive aspects of teaching, because it's so easy for us to get all mucked up in the mundane and where we're getting stressed out or feeling the deadlines. And so it's so nice to have these things, these resources for teachers to go and feel like they can get a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely. And the nice thing is it's always different. Again, it's similar to being in an orchestra. Like you do something for a few weeks, you have a performance and you're done with it. Mm-hmm. And the same thing here. You write a blog post, you make a podcast, and you move on. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely love it. It's awesome.
Tavis and I just got finished doing a DIY guitar build, and we just put the videos up. It's actually behind me, and it's like nice. Blue. We dip dyed it. We can pick it up and show it to you. Do you have any music projects that you're working on right now? Are you composing? Or do you dabble? Do you still have that going?
The only music project I have going right now is teaching our kids. We've got 5.5-year-old triplets right now, and they're going crazy with drum sets and flutes and whatever they can get their hands on. So those are my music projects right now.
That's pretty cool. Do you envision like letting them find instruments as they grow, or are you encouraging a path towards that discovery? Do you think it's
unfortunately one has found the drums, and so
got a drum set too. It's right to our left here.
Yeah, his is made up of a bunch of cardboard boxes, and so we have to keep buying from Amazon, so that way his drum set improves over time. So
that's cool. What do you do for symbols in cardboard these days?
Pots and pans are pretty important these days, so that's a lot of Walmart. And so it's keeping them in drumsticks is also pretty fun there too.
Pretty cool. Well, we know that you are one of our more fun. I was going to say funner. I feel like we know what that means.
More gooder is whatever works.
Well, even more gooder.
If we decide their words.
Well, then Gibraltar. Let's get going. And I would like to play lightning round with you if you don't.
Sure.
Hit some quick hitting, and if you have something you want to throw in, feel free. All right, so Jeffrey Bradbury, if it was a rainy day and you wanted to indulge in that that's dripping water down the mirror, what song do you go to? What would be a good playlist item for us?
I will always answer Bon Jovi any day of the week. But again, Jersey boy here.
Which Bon Jovi for a rainy day would you recommend?
Anything in the 2010s.
Okay, it's all pretty good stuff, isn't it? Yeah. All right, your favorite game of all time?
Where's that triplet? It's an important one that we play here.
You don't want to lose that one, I don't think.
Depending on the hour of the day, sometimes you might, but you know, like even just now, I came, you know, woke up from a nap and came out, and there was only 2 at the table, and you go, where's the triplet?
Wow.
And so, you know, I always have to figure out where they all are.
Your favorite project that you've completed recently?
My kids just got into kindergarten, so we went through. I'm serious. We went through 3 years of pre-K. That was an amazing project just to get them into it and out of it.
For sure. Your favorite character from any creative series? I knew the look behind was coming. That's why I was like curious about that.
You know, the ones that are back, I don't know if you can see it, but the ones that are back here boxed up is Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers.
You're
So,
kidding. Those are two fantastic.
Those are good answers.
We would like those, yeah.
and the one that I have right in front of me is Vince McMahon.
Oh, dude,
So,
I'm a huge fan. A huge
Yeah,
fan. That's
and-
going to be
and-
me and you later doing our own show.
this is the important one. This is the, you know, even though you're kind of the in charge, don't ever talk like you're in charge, and always carry a big microphone.
Yeah, yeah. Humble with a big microphone, right? So your
That was
favorite...
Theodore Roosevelt, right?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Who was a great wrestler, by the way. Suplex machine, that guy. Your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh my goodness. You know, I grew up as a Hulk Hogan person. I was never a Hulkamaniac, but you know, I like that guy. I was always a Macho Man kind of fan.
Oh,
so
sure.
know,
Workhorse, yeah.
Right.
I had the Hulk Hogan album. That was Hulkamaniac album. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He's a
absolutely.
music lover,
yeah.
he knows.
Yeah. His rap song about being on the beach was always stuck with me. It was horrendous. I mean, wonderful.
Your favorite piece of music to work with your classroom?
Wow.
You're not supposed to ask questions like that. We asked the hard.
Well, you're
questions.
asking that of the conductor, so I'm trying to figure out all those different things. You know, it never really in my yeah, sure, I guess so. I conducted Beethoven 9 twice. And so if my classroom was like my grad school, which I was taking, you know, my master's is in orchestral conducting. So
That's rad.
technically, I guess you could say for a period, my classroom was my master's program.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Beethoven 9.
What song was the kids' favorites to play?
Oh, they loved. We always did in high school. We always did a Pops concert, so we did Zeppelin and Disney stuff.
Pretty sweet. Your favorite concert you've ever attended?
Bon Jovi.
I was thinking.
I will tell you something. I rarely tell other podcasters.
Okay, we like.
I have been to, and I swear to goodness, more than 40 Air Supply concerts.
No way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I'm just
right.
gonna let that sit.
Yeah. Just let that one go.
Yeah. Your favorite podcast?
Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard.
Really? You're a Bruce Pritchard fan? He's pretty
Major.
good. Do you like Jim Ross's Report?
Not as much. Just because I just it's the same thing from a different angle. But if you listen to Ask the Tech Coach podcast that I do, and we release those on Mondays, the format is 100% everything that Conrad Thompson's doing.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Totally ripped it off, and it works.
Okay. Yeah. He's got the name, I guess, to back whatever he wanted to rip, I guess. Your favorite comedian? And then I'm going to be out.
We're all out of time.
George Carlin.
Okay.
George Carlin. That's
fantastic.
a good answer.
Go ahead, man.
Oh, no. I was making an Air Supply joke.
I didn't catch it.
I didn't catch it either.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, we super appreciate it, Jeff. Is there something you want to share with our audience about where they can find you or find what you're working on right now?
You know, so many teachers out there are looking to figure out what fun and interesting things are going to be happening this year in their school. And as they're going digital, they're always asking, you know, what's next? What's on that frontier? This summer, we were able to launch an entire platform dedicated to helping students and teachers bring audio and video podcasting into their classrooms. If you check out over at podcastingwithstudents.com, you can learn how to do audio, video, and all of that great stuff in your classrooms. And if you're looking to learn a little bit more about podcasting, you can, of course, go over to educationalpodcasting.com. That's our umbrella site that's, you know, basically talks about what the stuff that we're doing here. How do you do it in your studio? How do you get onto the different platforms? How do you get, you know, equipment? All those different things. We are building a great sense. So educationalpodcasting.com or podcastingwithstudents.com. And there's a lot of other great stuff over on teachercast.net. So thank you guys so much for your time. And
Cool.
I appreciate having the opportunity to talk to you guys today.
Absolutely,
Thank
man.
you so
And
much.
Thank you for linking so many people and resources together and doing it just out of the goodness of knowing that it will help. And that's a meaningful endeavor, and we support you in any way we can. Glad to help you anytime.
8 years down, 8 years more to go.
There you go. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Halfway there. Living on a
Oh, that's it.
I got a good one in.
We will see you later. Class dismissed on that note.